What's going on, guys? BK MMA here, and welcome to the Fight Geeks podcast. As you can tell, I'm in my freaking car right now. So, some unfortunate news happened with last episode's podcast. Basically, we just filmed it too late. It was UFC 272 last weekend. We didn't end up getting everyone together until like 9 we started, and then Kyle's going to talk about it more because we each kind of put our opinions in this podcast, kind of just like on the road, just trying to get this out there because we don't want to miss a week, you know what I mean? It's already coming out a day late. But yeah, we watched UFC 272. We just started the podcast too late. It started at 10. We started at like 9. Our friends started rolling in trying to watch the fight. So we're not trying to like record while we're just trying to enjoy the fight. So little mishap on our part, but we promise y'all it won't happen again. And if it does, we're humans. We try, you know what I mean? But UFC 272 is great in my opinion. A lot of people are saying it was not their favorite card, which I could see why. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I couldn't complain, to be honest. It was a great card, great night. It was just cool to see Colby and Jorge just in the octagon. Like, I feel like people are underestimating how like crazy that is. You know what I mean? Like, it's what we've been waiting for months. It's what we've been wanting to see this whole time. So we finally saw it. Colby versus Jorge, obviously, decision to Colby. Colby just dominated in wrestling. It was that simple. Jorge was out of breath. He got gassed out. And he just couldn't keep up with Colby's wrestling. One credit to Jorge, though. He did not let Colby get the choke. He kept his chin tucked. Never let Colby get a chance to choke him out, which props to Jorge for that. But all in all, the main event was a little disappointing, but it wasn't terrible. And then, of course, the other 4 fights on the card were all great. We saw Bryce Mitchell make a statement with 4 takedowns, which was insane. We saw Kevin Holland come out and beat the Cowboy, which was awesome. And then also, obviously, Greg Hardy took a fat L, which, what do you expect from Greg Hardy? And then Rafael Dos Anjos versus, it was Mosciano on a short notice fight. RDA, just a great all-around performance. I mean, he completely dominated Mosciano. But I got to give credit to Mosciano. He did not back down. He did not give up. Even when he couldn't see out of the one eye, he just did not give up, which was, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that fight didn't go towards, so RDA got performance of the night. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what fight did. Maybe he did, but I didn't see it on like UFC's Twitter, Instagram, or anything. But I think RDA should have definitely gotten performance of the night. What a performance. But maybe the short notice thing kind of opts him out of that. But prelims kind of got a glimpse of those. Wasn't my full attention, to be honest. We were just kind of trying to set up the podcast, and we just kind of got rushed. But yeah, UFC 272 was awesome. We had a great night. Fortunately, couldn't get a podcast, but we're making do with what we got with the phone vlogs right now. But some other news I'm just going to touch on real quick. Islam Makhachev, if you guys have seen, he wanted to fight RDA on UFC 272, but there was some controversy saying he wanted too much money, that he... just a whole bunch of stuff that, honestly, I don't believe any of it. Islam made a statement saying that it wasn't about the money, but he thinks, and a lot of the MMA community thinks, including Joe Rogan made a statement as well, that Islam having to fight Beneil Dariush again basically sets up Conor for the title shot of the winner of Gaethje Oliveira, which I can completely back. I think as much as that seems messed up that Islam isn't getting the next title shot, it's a business, you know what I mean? The UFC is a business. They're not going to just give that. They want to make money. It's that simple. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. They want to make money. Conor versus the next lightweight champion is going to be the biggest fight of the year and possibly a top 5 pay-per-view of all time, in my opinion. And then if Islam, I'm thinking he'll beat Beneil Dariush. And that will, if Conor beats Oliveira or Gaethje, like, what a slew of events right there. Just imagine that. Let's just say Oliveira beats Gaethje. Let's say it's Conor versus Oliveira. Conor beats Oliveira. Islam beats Beneil. And boom, there's your either late 2020 or early 2023 lightweight championship. Like, that's crazy. So that's kind of all I really have to say. We're going to have a long podcast, a nice podcast for you guys in the next episode. Once again, we're sorry that we couldn't get one, like a professional, kind of like what we've been doing for the last couple weeks. We're sorry we couldn't get that out, but we wanted to keep y'all in the loop. We wanted to keep y'all updated with us. So we are going to get this phone podcast up. And yeah, I think that kind of sums up my side of UFC 272, my side of kind of some news that's going on. And we're going to switch it over to Gibby MMA for his thoughts, his words, and it's been BH MMA. We'll see you guys next week for the true in-person, with the camera, with the microphone, in the setup podcast. So remember, like I said, TikTok, Instagram, subscribe. Thanks for rocking with us. We really appreciate y'all's support. We really hope to make something out of this, and we just appreciate everyone that likes, comments, follows, comments. I said comments twice. But yeah, we just appreciate y'all. So peace out.
What's going on, guys? Gibby MMA here, bringing you episode kind of 5 of the podcast. Not sure if we're calling it episode 5. Maybe. We'll see. But you guys know, obviously you can tell I'm here by myself. UFC 272 was on Saturday night, and we were literally about to film the podcast. So me and Matt, co-host, every week we try and film it on Saturday nights around, typically. And last Saturday was fight night, obviously. Literally seconds before we hit the record button, like 10 people walked in my room, because you guys know I have the fights in my house, you know. We're always watching the fights here, and it started a little too late, because as soon as we went to go start the pod, 15 people walked in, so I had to cancel the episode, and that's why you're seeing this. You'll probably see my POV, and then you'll see Matt's POV, but it's not going to be too long of an episode. I'm just going to touch up on some UFC 272, specifically the main card, a few of the fights. We'll start with the main event of the evening, Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. I mean, what a fight. Whether you liked it or not, you gotta just be happy that the fight even happened, because a lot of these grudge matches that we see don't even end up happening. Like so many rivalries don't end up happening. Like Khabib Ferguson, when that fight was supposed to happen 5 times, or like some Conor fights that fell through. So let's just be glad we got to see another rivalry, and yeah. But thoughts on the fight? I thought it was a great fight. I thought it went exactly how most people thought it was gonna go. We saw Colby just dominate Jorge. I mean, Jorge, it almost looked like he was getting beat everywhere. I mean, he did drop him once or twice, I think, but nothing really hurt Colby, because when he did drop him, he never really applied pressure to even finish him. It was like Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards in the 5th round, when Nate Diaz rocked him and he pointed at him instead of going and finishing the fight, when you clearly lost the last 4 rounds. Jorge lost the last 3 rounds, or maybe he won round 2, or I can't remember which round he won, but when he dropped him, for the first 5 or 6 seconds, he could have pressed him and knocked him out, but he almost just let him recover and allowed Colby just to back him back down against that cage and take him down, which is another thing I wanted to get to. Jorge's takedown defense is very good. I don't think he took him down once in the middle of the octagon, not once, but Colby with his striking was able to back him against the octagon and allowed him to take him down with ease, pretty much. Like, I mean, I think it was like 5 for 12 or something for takedowns, which is like almost 50%. It was just it was just what everyone thought it was gonna be. Domination by Colby. Still, Jorge had his moments which made the fight great. I mean, he won a lot of the exchanges, but overall, Colby was just applying more pressure, landing more shots, landing the volume straights, tiring Jorge out, and I think it was a good win for Colby, and I think he can I hope he gets that Dustin fight. I heard Dustin said he would never fight him for money, but come on, dude. You just got called out like that. Like, you got to take the fight, right? But knowing Dustin, weight bully, he probably won't accept the fight. He'll probably just go and fight Nate Diaz. I mean, who would you rather fight, Nate Diaz or Colby? I mean, exactly, right? It's either free money or wrestler. I mean, come on now. But yeah. What was another good fight on that card? Kevin Holland, welterweight. I think that was his welterweight debut. He popped off. He called out Cowboy. He said, "I just knocked out one Cowboy. Don't make me call out another." And that was crazy. I don't know why he's calling out Donald Cerrone. That would obviously be like Donald Cerrone's like 0 wins in his last 6. So I don't know where he came that about. He should definitely be fighting a ranked opponent. Kevin Holland is good. One last thing about the main card. Almost forgot. Bryce Mitchell versus Edson Barboza. That was a great fight. Pretty much domination by Bryce Mitchell. It's one of those fights where you really don't want to see a loser. It's like an up-and-comer versus one of the OGs in the game. It's kind of like Connor versus Nate. You just don't want to see a loser, and like you're just glad to see the respect shown after the fight. And you're also glad you didn't see Edson Barboza get finished, because that would be sad. So happy for both fighters. Respect to Bryce Mitchell coming out. I think he might have been the underdog, and he came out and he won, and that's what I'm talking about. Bryce Mitchell, Thug Nasty. But that's it for UFC 272. There's just one other thing I want to talk about. Cain Velasquez. You guys already know. Everyone already knows, but free Cain Velasquez. That's all I have to say. So for those of you who don't know, Cain Velasquez was arrested on February 28th on attempted murder of, I don't want to use his full name, so I'm just going to say Harry. But it was this guy who molested a very close family member of Cain Velasquez. So Cain Velasquez obviously took matter into his own hands and tried to murder the motherfucker. And that's huge respect to Cain, because honestly, a lot of people wouldn't just go and do that. Like, a lot of people say they're going to do this, say they're going to do that, but when it comes to killing someone, a lot of people aren't going to do that. And Cain Velasquez went right into it, not worried about who was in the line of fire. He found the guy who did it, and he rammed his truck straight into the back of him, emptied his handgun without worrying who was there. He just knew the guy who molested his close family relative was there, and didn't take any risk. He wanted him out of there, and that's huge respect, because child predators are arguably worse than murderers. And it's great to see everyone, the whole MMA community surrounding Cain Velasquez, because like I said, a lot of people say they're going to do things and they don't actually do it. Cain went out there and did it, so that's what I'm talking about. But it's free Cain all day, every day. I heard they actually just denied his bail because it was deemed too risky, which technically, yeah, if a man shoots at something and is aiming for something and doesn't really care what's there, then I get it, what they're trying to say, too risky. But it was a dude a child predator, bro. Like, free Cain Velasquez, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. It was a short podcast, but not even really like a pod, just a little like update video on kind of why we didn't do a podcast. But yeah, who knows? Interested to see Matt's side of this.